Hello ladies, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a different type of video. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my filming setup that I use for my vlogs and also for my workout tutorials. So I have if you don't know, I have another channel where it's just straight workouts, nothing else but workouts, kind of like a little workout library. I post there every week, so if you like at-home workouts, make sure you subscribe. But in this video, I'm going to be going over all the equipment that I use, how much it costs from the equipment, the lighting, the applications, how I edit, everything you need to know if you also want to start your own YouTube channel, or more specifically, if you want to start a fitness YouTube channel. Starting a YouTube fitness channel is a little bit more involved. It's different from vlogging. With vlogging, you know, you're kind of walking around with your camera. For the most part, you're using natural light. When you're doing these sort of kind of studio workouts, even though you're at home, it's still like a studio style filming setup. So you have to, lighting and things like that is very, very important. So we're just gonna get right into it. For my camera equipment, I have two cameras, but for the most part, I only use my Canon M50, which is the camera that I'm using right now. So all of my workout videos that you've seen for the last year and a half have been filmed with my Canon M50. Now, when I bought the Canon M50, I believe it was in the 800s. Right now, the Canon M50 is at about $700, 700 and some change. Now, here's the thing, ladies or guys, if you are wanting to start filming workout videos, if you have a really good smartphone with a really good camera, that's all you need, okay? You don't have to go out and spend $1,000 on the camera if you're just starting out. Now, if you do have the funds to invest and get a really good camera, I highly suggest that you do. But to get started, you don't need to go and spend $700. All you need is an iPhone or a really good Android with a really good camera. Okay. So my other camera that I have is a Canon T6i. I have a Canon T6i. I don't really use it anymore, honestly just because it's kind of just big and bulky and I don't like to pull it out. When I want really good photos, I might pull it out. But for the most part, I film everything that you see with my Canon M50. The reason why I say you don't have to spend too much money on your camera is because the most important thing that you're gonna see is lighting, okay? I don't care how expensive your camera is, if you don't have good lighting, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work, okay? So, the lighting setup that I have two LED lights, okay? And I have a ring light. So far, that is the only lighting that I use. The ring light I've had for years. I've had that ring light now for about, I wanna say 5 years, and when I bought it, it was $300, but now you can probably find one that's just as good for less than $300. The two LED lights that I have, I got them from Amazon from a company called Newer. And when I bought them, I believe they were about $250 for both of them. So together, not separately. So for the whole package for the LED lights, it was about $250. And with the LED lights, you get a charger. You get two batteries for them. You can either plug them up or you can charge the battery. Typically, I just plug them up because I just be forgetting to charge it. And it comes with two carrying cases. I highly suggest that if you're doing sort of like an indoor workout like how I'm doing, that you definitely want to invest in getting some lighting. If your apartment or house doesn't have good natural lighting, because this apartment has horrible lighting, if I try to do these workout videos without lighting, guys, it will look horrible. It will look totally trash. So if you're trying to start a workout channel similar to my channel, or even if you're doing some sit down type of videos like this, you definitely want to invest in lighting. Right now, the only lighting that I have currently on me is a little bit of natural light and my ring light. But if I turn the camera, because when I do my workouts, the camera is facing, the camera is like coming here, so the lighting is bad. So I have the two LED lights on each side, and then I have the ring light. Okay, so yeah, and with all that, like I said, $200 for the LED lights. So you could probably find a ring. You could probably find a ring light for like maybe $150 now. Like when I bought it, was $300. But yeah, so that is the lighting that I use. I also have a very small like cell phone ring light that I use specifically for like Instagram or TikToks. Okay, so I highly suggest you. I could use my bigger one too, but sometimes I like to carry it around, and I don't want to carry those big ring lights everywhere sometimes. So I highly suggest that, you know, if you want to like, you know, be mobile with your workout videos, if you want to go outside, you want to change locations, get a smaller ring light as well. Not mandatory, but I highly suggest you do. So another thing that I totally forgot to mention is the lens that I'm using right now. So the lens that I'm using and that I use for my workout videos is the Canon 11-22 millimeter. Okay, so this is a wide angle lens. So right now I have it zoomed in, but if I didn't have this lens, I really couldn't record the videos in my apartment because my apartment is really not that big. It's the lens that makes the room look so big. So I'm gonna try to zoom out and zoom in so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is the lens zoomed all the way out, okay? Now, if I were to use the lens that came with this camera, the visual that you just saw would be like, that would be it. It wouldn't be, I mean, it zooms in and out, but not as much as this, okay? So if you're going to be filming indoor, I highly suggest you get this lens. Now, it's not mandatory because this lens is like $400, okay? It's not mandatory. You can definitely still film with the regular factory lens that you have, and that's actually what I used to film with, you know, until I was able to save up some money and get this lens. But this is a really good lens, and I definitely give it my stamp of approval. Okay, another thing that you guys need is, you know, you need a tripod. You need a really good tripod, especially if you're going to be filming with a DSLR. You want to get a really good sturdy tripod. So the tripod that I have is from Manfrotto. I've had this tripod like for like 6 years as well. They have different tripods now with different aspects, but I believe when I bought this tripod, it wasn't cheap. I know it was like more than $100. It wasn't a cheap tripod. Now, you don't have to get this one, but if you have a DSLR, or if you're going to be filming outside, you want something sturdy because you don't want the wind to knock it over. If you have a heavier camera, a small tripod won't be able to hold it, and it'll be like you probably knock it over and you destroy your whole camera. So I definitely suggest that you get a really good sturdy one. Manfrotto has some really good tripods. I don't have the fancy Manfrotto tripods. I have the regular standard Manfrotto tripod. Nothing. So the one that I have is probably cheaper because they have a lot of fancy ones now where you can like do like overhead shots and all kind of stuff. I don't have that one. I have the regular one. Okay. Also, my mat that I have here, the mat that you see me working out on, the black mat, is from a company called Gorilla Mats. Okay, they make some really good, sturdy, strong mats. And the reason why I stress the mat is because I used to use like a really cheap mat that I got from like Five Below, and what you'll notice is the mat just comes apart. It just comes apart. Like one day I was doing some like mountain climbers or something, and the part where my feet was at, the mat was literally just shredding. So at that point, I knew I had to get a more sturdier mat. And they have bigger mats too. They don't just make like the little yoga size mats. They have bigger mats. As you can see with my YouTube videos, I believe this mat is like a 7 by something, 7 by 5. I'll put the thing here, the one that I have, but I got this off of Amazon. Let's see, how much did this cost? So the one that I have is the Onyx Black Mat, and it's a 7 by 5 by 8 millimeter. That's the one that I have. Currently, this one is going for $150, which is not bad. They do have some smaller ones, and they also have bigger ones. This is the one that I have. I give it my stamp of approval. I've been doing all kinds of stuff on this mat. It has not come apart yet. So yeah, I highly recommend this mat. But like I said, it's not mandatory, but it's a really good mat and it's very, very sturdy. Pretty much that's all the physical equipment that I use. So now we're gonna talk about like different apps and stuff that I use to like edit and things like that. When I was editing my videos myself, I would use Final Cut Pro. So prior to about November of 2020, prior to November 2020, all of the videos that you saw, I edited those, okay? But in November of 2020, I actually hired a virtual assistant. And ever since then, I really don't edit my videos that much at all. My assistant, she edits them, she makes the thumbnail, she adds the graphics. I literally just send her the footage. I use Final Cut Pro to take out all the unneeded footage, like any dead space. I just take that out and then I send it to her, and she adds all the graphics and edits it and everything. But I used to use Final Cut Pro. Another good one would be Adobe Premiere. I feel like Final Cut Pro is a little bit more user friendly, but I definitely suggest you use Final Cut Pro or Adobe. Also, you know, for the graphics and stuff that I have, like the countdown timer, I actually paid someone on Fiverr to create those graphics for me. And you can go to Fiverr right now, I'll leave the link, but you can go to Fiverr right now and hire someone for like $5 to $10 to make you one of those little countdown timers. All those graphics that you see, you can either get it from Fiverr. Another website to get like the YouTube graphics, like the graphics that pop up and say, hey, subscribe here or whatever. You can get those from a website called Envato. So Envato is like a subscription, and they have a lot of like stock footage, stock photos, copyrighted stuff that you can use, but you have to pay the subscription, okay? So that's where I got a lot of my stuff from. Before I had a assistant, I would get a lot of the YouTube graphics and all the subscribe graphics, comment, like all that stuff from Envato, okay? And you can actually just, you know, sign up with them and then download everything you want to download and then cancel the subscription, because that's what I do. If you're a beginner, you can definitely use like Windows Movie Maker or iMovie. You can definitely use those. But if if you really want to do YouTube like for real, you're gonna have to learn this stuff or hire somebody to do it. Cause I don't know if y'all noticed, but YouTube now is like, you can't just pop up on here with a webcam like how you did in 2009. Like, you have to come correct if you want people to subscribe and really, you know, engage. So, you know, definitely you want to work yourself up to learning how to use these things like Adobe and Premiere, or hire somebody, okay? And another application that I use for like my thumbnails is either PicMonkey or Canva. I use both of these very regularly. I don't really make my thumbnails anymore, but I still use these like in my business. I use Canva more so for my business, like creating ebooks, and I would use PicMonkey for thumbnails. Okay, so if you just want to do something for thumbnails, I definitely think PicMonkey is better for thumbnails, okay? So another very, very important thing that a lot of people don't really think about when it comes to making YouTube videos is the non-copyrighted music, all right? So I highly suggest that you guys get some sort of copyrighted music subscription. I use Epidemic Sound. Everything that you hear on all of my videos for like the last year and a half is from Epidemic Sound. Now, before I was using Epidemic Sound, I was using like those quote unquote non-copyrighted songs from YouTube. But what happens is, like, sometimes these YouTube channels that make the non-copyrighted music, and they say, hey, you can use my music as non-copyright, you won't get a copyright strike. Years down the line, that song becomes copyrighted, and then they flag your video years later. Like, a lot of my videos that I made a couple years ago got demonetized because the music that I had, even though I got them from these so-called non-copyrighted sites, they eventually became copyrighted. So what Epidemic Sound is a monthly subscription with like thousands of songs you can choose from. They got all different types of genres, but as long as you pay that subscription, your videos won't be copyrighted strike, okay? Here's the thing with Epidemic Sound though. Once you start using Epidemic Sound and your videos are monetized, as soon as you like cancel your subscription with Epidemic Sound, all of your videos are gonna be flagged. Now, Epidemic Sound is not expensive. It's about $15 a month. Now, if you're someone who's taking your YouTube channel serious and you're thinking of it as a business, that $15 a month is nothing compared to all the copyright strikes that you're gonna get, okay? So, Epidemic Sound, I think, is the most popular one. Now, you can go and try your luck. You can go and try your luck with the, the NCS sounds and all this stuff, the free YouTube channels. But like I said, sometimes those songs might be copyrighted years later, and then now you're demonetized. So to prevent all of that, I would say just go with the Epidemic Sound or some other sort of music copyright subscription. With all that being said, if I add up all of the equipment that I use from YouTube, this is how much it costs. okay? Now, running a real YouTube channel, you guys, is not cheap. If you really are trying to make your YouTube into a business, you want to get brand deals, you want to get monetized, you want to get AdSense money, you want to grow a following, you have to think about your YouTube channel as a business, and you have to invest. So everything that I purchased from my YouTube channel, it is a business, it's a tax write-off. I purchased everything with my business credit card, all of my subscriptions that I use, the Canva, Epidemic sound, all of that is attached to my business credit card, and it's a business write-off. Okay, so you have to think about your YouTube channel as a business, because that's what it is. You're starting a business, okay? And you have to think of, if you're really trying, now if you're just doing YouTube for fun and you just want to post your kids doing their TikTok dances, look, that's totally fine. But if you're thinking about it as a business, you want to make money from money from YouTube, you have to invest, and you have to make sure that you're putting out a quality product. Now here's the thing, you guys, I don't want to discourage anyone from not putting out their stuff because they don't think it looks professional enough. I suggest if you're a beginner right now and you have never posted a video before and you want to start YouTube, record something today and just post it, because it doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to you have to start to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't wait to be perfect. You have to actually start, because once you start and you start making videos, you're gonna learn and your videos will get better. Like if you guys go back to like my first video I ever posted on YouTube, I think I recorded that thing on my freaking webcam, and it's not even on here anymore. I deleted it. But a lot of my videos I made a lot of my videos private because they are so bad. You know, they are so bad. But I had to post those to get better. You know, and eventually my content got better and better. I learned some new things. I'm just a student of YouTube and marketing. Like that's just my thing. Or if you start making enough money, you can hire someone. Like a lot of these big YouTubers who got millions of followers, y'all think they're really sitting there at their computer editing all these videos? No, they hiring somebody. They're hiring somebody to do the keyword research. They're hiring people to edit. You know, they hire people to do this thing. They're not doing all this by themselves. You know what I'm saying? But you have to start somewhere, okay? So don't let the fear of not being perfect scare you. Just post whatever you got. Make sure that whatever you post, and make sure that you put your best foot forward. Whether you're filming that on a camera, whether you're filming that on a phone, put your best foot forward and post it, okay? It's always gonna be haters. There's haters everywhere. People probably it's people who don't even like my videos. You know what, that's perfectly fine. I'm not making videos for them. I'm making videos for y'all who rock with me and who've been rocking with me, okay? Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I was able to help you guys out. And like I said, if you are looking to really take this YouTube thing serious, I just gave you the blueprint of everything you need, or everything you need to work up to get it, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.